In this nitty-gritty Let's Play live stream, we're going to be going over top 10 confusing and complicated rules demystified. Then we're going to play Mahjong. Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully there'll be some time for Q&A on other rules not covered that are still confusing. These are just the top 10. Top 10 complex rules demystified. And this is based on my opinion. Obviously, there are a lot of rules that can be complicated and confusing. These are my top 10. And then we can tweak it if I hear other rules that are more complicated than these. Y'all can let me know. Welcome to the live stream. How's everyone doing tonight? Can you hear me okay? I changed a setting, so I want to make sure that you can hear me. Can you hear me, Sue? Testing. Welcome to the live stream. We'll get started as soon as I get an okay on sound. Can you hear me? Hi, Kathleen. You can hear. Okay, excellent. Oh, what a relief. Okay. Oh my goodness. People have been, some people have been saying that they can't hear in the live streams, and I'm perplexed. So I tried a new setting, and thank you, Jingles. Hi, JL. I tried a new setting, and it seems to be okay, but I think some people were able to hear before too. So welcome, Evelyn. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. This will be reposted, so anybody joining late will be able to watch the repost. So if you're watching the repost, thank you so much for watching these videos. If you are still left questioning rules that I haven't covered in tonight's presentation, send me an email or write your complex rules in the video description below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. This is going to be a short presentation, probably, well, depending on questions, of course. And I'm going to open it up to Q&A, and then, of course, we'll have time to play Mahjong. And once we get to playing Mahjong, I think we can go ahead and open it up to more discussion on rules, but also just socialization, because the nitty-gritty part of this particular event is going to be in the presentation and the discussion of complex rules. Sound like a plan? Oh, thank you, Kathleen. Hi, Shirley. Welcome. Hi, Maya. Hi, Peggy. Okay, thank you, Peggy. Some people have had problems with the sound and some people haven't, so I'm really confused as to what the problems could be. But anyhow, let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and start the slideshow. All right. American Mahjong, top 10 complex rules demystified. That's the goal. So we're going to go from 10 down to number 1. So buckle up, enjoy the ride. The first one is mistakes made during the Charleston. A game does not officially begin until East discards their 14th tile. So if there are any issues during the Charleston that affect the integrity of the game, all the tiles should be thrown in and the game should be restarted. So that could be someone not having enough tiles or someone having too many tiles. It could also mean somebody accidentally picking up the tiles from the wall instead of a pass. That can affect the integrity of the game. So while you're playing and an issue arises, if you can resolve it, resolve it. Otherwise, if there is any kind of argument, throw in the tiles and start over. Hi, Bonnie. Welcome. All right. Any questions about mistakes made during the Charleston? It seems kind of odd to say that the game doesn't start until East discards, because the Charleston is part of the game. But in the rule book, the Mahjong Made Easy rule book, if you don't have one of these, you should get one. You can get this on the National Mahjong League website. But in there, it says the game does not officially begin until East discards their 14th tile. So if any issues occur during the Charleston that can't be resolved or that affect the integrity of the game, throw it in and start over. All right, next. Number 9, multiple players want to pass blind. When multiple players pass blind, someone has to issue an IOU to the receiving player. When the player receives incoming tiles, they can then fulfill the IOU, and it goes down the line like a domino effect. And this IOU process was created by Tom Sloper, and the league loves this IOU concept. So let's say, for example, East wants to pass 2, and the second player wants to pass 3, the third player wants to pass 2, and the fourth player wants to pass 2. So when East says to the next player on the right, I owe you 1, the next player can pass 3, so that way they can then take one of those incoming tiles and pass 3. And then the last player can do the same thing and pass 3, and then East would take 1 tile from that incoming pass and just give it right along to fulfill the IOU, and they would get 2 tiles. Any questions about multiple players passing blind? I have heard that some people, if everybody wants to pass blind, they all pass the same number of tiles. Like if one person wants to pass 3 and the rest of them want to pass 2, they all say, well, let's just all pass 2. But this is the actual guideline that the league recommends. Okay, let's see. Oh no, you can't see my presentation. Wait a minute. What's going on? How come you can't see my presentation? Hold on a second. There we go. Oh my goodness. You couldn't see my beautiful presentation. Let me see if it catches up now. Do you have images for these rules? Well, I don't have images per se, but because they're rules. Like I don't have a video, or I don't have any diagrams or anything like that. Although I suppose in the future I probably could create diagrams. But right now, yep, I'm caught up to you, Jingles. So right now, all I really have is text and me talking about it. So let's see here. All right, we're going to keep going. Does anybody have any questions about the IOU? Oh, okay, you were just wondering about the presentation. Okay, it's on 9. Yeah, this was the first one. The first one, mistakes made during the Charleston. And then this is number 9, which is where we are. Oh, you couldn't see the presentation. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Maya. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had my OBS system blocking the image, so I couldn't see. Anyhow, all right, let's keep going. Okay, number 8, the beginning of a player's turn. One might think that the beginning of a player's turn is when the previous player discards a tile, but in American Mahjong, that's not the case. The reason for this is that turns can be interrupted when another player claims to discard to make an exposure. So a player's turn actually begins when they either pick a tile from the wall or they just call a discard. And when that discard is racked, that is the beginning of the player's turn. So for example, you could call a discard and you would think that's the beginning of my turn, but if that call gets interrupted, well, then they have to defer to the player who claimed the previous discard. Because as we all know, until that tile is racked, the previous discard can be claimed. And we're going to talk about that more in a little bit. All right, so any questions about the beginning of a player's turn? The beginning of a player's turn officially begins when they either pick a tile from the wall or they call a discard and rack it. I need to add that to this because that tile has to be racked. That would be the beginning of their turn. And you know, when you pick a tile from the wall, you can touch the tile, but if you move it in any way, then you're committed to that. And then you have to rack it, and that racking is what begins your turn. Also, let's say you call a discard, and that discard is on the table, and then you expose tiles from your hand. That would be also racking an exposure, and that would mark the beginning of your turn. So this kind of coincides with window of opportunity, which we're going to cover later. So really, this one, I'm thinking I'm going to need to replace this with another complex rule because they're kind of similar, but we'll talk about it when we get there. Does anybody have any questions about what marks the beginning of a player's turn? Okay, we're going to go to the next one. Joker exchange resulting in Mahjong. A player who discards a tile that makes another player's hand ready to win does not incur an additional penalty when that player does a Joker exchange that results in Mahjong. This is considered a self-pick win, and they get double value for their hand from all the players. I have seen arguments where if someone discards a tile and then a player calls it for an exposure and then does an exchange, and then that Joker is the result, leads to that player then being able to declare Mahjong. Some people think that the player who discarded the tile for that player to then make the exposure, that they're the one responsible for paying for that Mahjong, but that's not true because it's a totally separate transaction. It's transactional. So when a tile is discarded and called and then an exposure is made, that is one transaction. So that player who discarded is off the hook. They bear no responsibility for what happens thereafter. The next thing that might happen, well, in this case, is the player does a Joker exchange, and then that Joker allows the player to declare Mahjong. So that is a separate transaction, and it's considered a self-picked win. Yeah, we're going to talk more about that, Sue, in a bit. Okay, so any questions about Joker exchange resulting in Mahjong? Okay, the next one that we have is Jokers eligible for exchange. When a player has a hand that is no longer viable or is invalid, it should be declared dead. Sometimes, however, players choose to delay the dead hand declaration so they can exchange jokers and exposures that cause the hand to become dead. In other words, after a hand has been declared dead, the jokers in the last exposure are not eligible for exchange. And this, I think, is a bit of an exploit because when there are exposures with jokers, some people may or may not be aware that those exposures make the hand invalid somehow. Whether we know that they're waiting for their winning tile and that tile's a pair and 3 of the tiles are visible, or whether maybe they have 2 exposures on their rack and the 2 together are not compatible. The awareness of those situations may not be present. So those jokers are going to be eligible for exchange. So this is when an undeclared dead hand where jokers are in exposures, those jokers are eligible for exchange. The moment that a hand is declared dead, the exposure that led to the declaration, if there are jokers in it, those jokers are not eligible for exchange. But any jokers in previous exposures prior to the declaration, those jokers are eligible for exchange. So there's another situation that I saw recently on Mahjong That's It Facebook group. If you use social media, you might want to look up that group and join, because there are all kinds of scenarios that get posted on there where people ask for rulings because they may or may not have Mahjong Made Easy, or maybe they don't know the game as well, and maybe they don't even know about Mahjong Made Easy. But they'll ask in social media for a ruling. And I saw recently in separate posts, somebody shared a scenario where a player had a concealed hand with jokers, and they declared Mahjong and exposed all of their hand, and their hand was invalid. And so someone at the table declared their hand dead, and they wondered if they could exchange the jokers. And the answer is no, because with a concealed hand, when you expose those tiles, that is the action that prompted someone to then declare the hand dead, and therefore those jokers are not available for exchange. So all of those tiles have to go back in the hand. Any questions about that? Jokers eligible for exchange, which ones? It's any that are visible prior to the hand being declared dead. If the hand isn't declared dead, then those jokers are available for exchange. I've seen this happen on occasion as well. Somebody knows that the hand is invalid and there are jokers for exchange in the last exposure that made the hand invalid, but they delay the declaration because they have the tile for exchange in their hand. They could do the exchange and then declare the hand dead after they get the joker, although I think that's an exploit. So I don't know if they can tighten up that rule, but I think that's an exploit on that particular rule. Sue says, if all players know a hand is dead and nobody calls it, is that legal? Yes, it is. If the hand has not been declared dead by another player, then the hand is not dead. It has to be declared dead by another player, not by the player whose hand it is. Somebody else has to declare the hand dead in order for it to be official. All right, shall we keep going? Or do we need to, are there any more questions on this one? We're halfway through the list, and the heavy ones are on the top side. So, all right, we're going to keep going. Okay. Oh, yeah, here I have this one. This is the other scenario. Let's see. Exposures with jokers on the rack before hand is declared dead are available for exchange. A new exposure with or without a joker must be returned to the rack if the hand is declared dead. This also applies to a hand where tiles are exposed with a Mahjong in error. If a concealed hand is declared dead, all the tiles must be returned to the sloped part of the rack, including the jokers. So there's a couple situations. One is where they had exposures prior to the hand being declared dead, and the other is where it's a Mahjong in error, maybe with a concealed hand where there were no exposures. So there are a couple scenarios there. JL says, when the hand is declared dead, do you suggest that all jokers go back in the hand that are no longer eligible to be taken? Yes, when the hand is declared dead, the last exposure is returned to the rack. Let's see. A new exposure with or without jokers must be returned to the rack if it's declared dead. And I'm in future presentations, I'm going to put the wiki article that goes with these rulings, because in the wiki article will be the source of the rule, which will be either the National Mahjong League Mahjong Made Easy booklet of rulings. They call it their guidelines, but there are rules in there. And then also there are rulings not in Mahjong Made Easy that we talked about last week. And there are currently 24 or 25 rulings not in Mahjong Made Easy. And if you want to know about those, watch last week's video, last week's live stream. We went over the rulings not in Mahjong Made Easy. And there are 2 volumes, 24 rules. Let's see. Okay, where are we? Oh, no worries, Karen. Okay, so yes, so for example, if somebody exposes a concealed hand with jokers, the entire hand goes back in the rack. If any exposures were out prior and they just exposed a couple of exposures to complete the hand, let's say they had 1 exposure out with a joker and then they put the rest of their hand out and it's invalid somehow, they have to put all those concealed tiles back so that only the exposure that was up prior to the hand being declared dead is visible. So let's see. Okay, thank you, Sue. Just for the repost, she's saying, I think a visual of a hand of this would be helpful. Okay, where I can circle, I'll circle back. Any place where there's a diagram that would be helpful, I will add it for future presentations. That's a good suggestion. So now that it's in the video, I'll watch this again and make a note to add a visual for this one. All right, next, we're going to go to number 5. Reasons for a dead hand. If a player's hand can be declared dead if they exposed a concealed hand, whether it's all at once and it's a mahjong, it would be a mahjong in error, and declared dead. Also, if they are, usually you can't tell if it's a concealed hand with 1 exposure, with an exception, and depending on the year. For example, with 2022, news concealed a pung of norths and a pung of souths. Pung of north and a pung of south. If you see someone with a pung of north or south, well, that hand's concealed. There are no other situations on the card with those 2 blocks. So that would be a reason to declare the hand dead. If they exposed all or part of a concealed hand, they exposed a hand not on the card, and this usually happens in the first couple of months of a new card. So April, May, June, around in there, someone might accidentally play a hand from last year's card. A hand is impossible to complete, and an example of that might be, let's say they're playing the first odd hand, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, pair, pung, kong, pung, pair, pair 1, pung 3, kong 5, pung 7, pair 9. Let's say that they had a kong of 5s shown and a pung of 7s, and there's a 1 bam out, and then someone has a pung with a joker. Well, that hand will not be able to be completed. Actually, you know what? That's not a good example, because they could be playing the 3rd hand from the bottom on the right. Now, let's say that it's the mixed suit hand. That would do it, because there's no hand where there's a kong of 5s and a pung of 7s and 2 suits. So that would have to be the example. And some of these I might be able to do diagrams for, depending, and I'd probably update it for the current card. So if the hand is impossible to complete, and typically that means that a pair or a single is not going to be possible for that particular hand. Also, if the player exchanges a joker before their turn begins, which circles back to a previous complex rule that we talked about earlier, their hand can be declared dead. You have to start your turn before you exchange a joker. So you have to either call and expose or pick and rack. Then you do the joker exchange. Everybody with me? The next one is wrong number of tiles, whether too many or too few. If that happens, then someone can declare that hand dead. Now, there's something interesting here that happens on occasion. And this is where a player who is not East discards to start the game. They are going to have too few tiles. And East is going to have too many. So if somebody's playing and they all of a sudden realize they don't have enough tiles and they're fussing with their rack, and then you realize, oh my goodness, they don't have enough tiles, and you would say, I'm sorry, but your hand is dead, you might take a moment to look at everybody else's rack, or even ask everybody count your tiles. Because typically when one person has too few tiles, the wrong player started the game by discarding, which means whoever was East is going to have one too many tiles. That's a common reason for someone to have too few tiles. Another thing that can happen with the wrong number of tiles is when people talk too much at the table. If there's too much good conversation at the table, somebody might discard twice, or somebody might forget to discard, or someone might draw and not discard, and then the next player takes a turn and they're left with an extra tile. Those are some other reasons why I've seen where people have had the wrong number of tiles in their hand. Also, if a player picks out of turn, their hand can be declared dead. So that might be somebody who is used to playing a 14-tile game. If they're used to playing that 14-tile game, their tendency is going to be to pick first, then discard. That could be a way for them to be disqualified from the game. It happens in Siamese, yes, I've had that happen, Sue. Also, tiles fall from the racks in Siamese Mahjong. If you don't have a rack with brackets on the end that kind of hold the tiles in, I've lost tiles before off my rack. So anyhow, also, if somebody picked and racked from the wrong wall, so this would be where the wrong wall is pushed out and then somebody picks from that wall, it's everyone's responsibility to make sure that the right wall is being pushed out. And if it's your turn and the wrong wall is pushed out, your hand could be declared dead. Also, what could happen is you could pick from the wrong end of the wall. You're supposed to pick from the pushed out wall from the middle of the table back. So you don't pick from the back of the wall towards the center. It's the other way. And this would be probably, all of these probably would be a good demonstrate. You know, I could do like a diagram on all of these probably. All right, we're going to go on to number 4. Ramifications for a misnamed discard. If a player misnames a discard and someone mentions the error right away, the discarder must rename the tile correctly and no penalty is imposed. If a player calls a misnamed discard and makes an invalid exposure, their hand is dead and there is no penalty to the discarder. So an example might be for that one where someone discards a flower but they call it a 1-bam, and then somebody exposes a 1-bam, and then maybe they put that flower in there thinking it's a 1-bam, and the game moves on. Well, their hand, that's an invalid exposure. And that's a common visual mistake. The one bam and a flower, sometimes one bams look like flowers. So this kind of goes with the rule of making sure that you pick up the right discard, or that you hear and verify the discard before you make your exposure. One of the things you can do to make sure that this doesn't happen is that when a tile is discarded, you pick up the discard, put it on your rack, and then add the tiles from your hand to it. That gives you and people at the table a moment to make sure you're taking the right tile and that you heard it correctly. So if you get in the habit of racking the discard on the flat part of your rack, which is the new rule, by the way, that discard needs to be on the flat part of your rack, not in your hand, but on the flat part of the rack, then you add the tiles from your hand. It gives you a moment, you and the people at the table, a moment to make sure you're picking up the right tile. Incidentally, with this new rule, there is no penalty. Does anybody have any questions about that? Because it is kind of new with the discard being put on the flat part of the rack. It's a line of sight ruling. The reason why they made it is because there's a line of sight between what is picked up and what is placed on the rack, as opposed to what is picked up and then put in the hand. It's out of sight once it's in the hand. So that's why they say from the table to the flat part of the rack, there's a line of sight. Oh, okay, excellent, Maya. Okay, the next one, if a player declares Mahjong upon hearing a misnamed discard, the discarder pays the claimant 4 times the hand's value. The league says we play with our eyes and our ears and our eyes. I might have gotten that backwards, but basically you need to hear the discard being named, but you also need to validate it visually. The what do you call it? The exception to the rule is if the misnamed discard results in a player declaring Mahjong. And incidentally, there's another one of these situations that happens in this scenario. Let's see, Karen asked, why does the National Mahjong League make rules with no penalties for breaking them? I have an answer for that. Okay, I see a couple more. I see a question and a comment, so I'll circle back. The reason that the league did not impose a penalty is because the game is designed for social play, and they feel that a dead hand declaration would be too harsh a penalty. And that also goes for peeking at a blind pass, and also it could be passing a joker. I've heard of people passing jokers. That's against the rules. But with those other 2 scenarios, there's no penalty. And the league was asked why was there no penalty with this new ruling, and the answer from the committee is that the game is designed for social play, and they felt that a dead hand declaration as a penalty would be too harsh. All right, Maya's asking, declares with wrong tile or actual tile? It doesn't matter, Maya. When someone declares Mahjong, the game stops. The game stops, and if the tile was misnamed, well, whoever discarded that misnamed discard, whoever discarded and misnamed it, they have to pay 4 times the value of the hand that was being played. Let's see. Maya said every game has rules. There should either be a penalty or yeah, what some people have said is if it is a rule, there should be a penalty. Otherwise, it shouldn't be a rule, but a guideline or best practice or a recommendation. But they made this a rule. They labeled it a rule. But really, before this new rule, it was a recommendation. But they they removed that, you know, should or recommended. It's recommended, or a player should place the discard on the flat part of the rack, to must. They changed the wording to must. And people in the community have been saying, well, why make it a rule if there's no penalty? So it's a little confusing, and that's why it's on the list. Let's see here. I wonder how they decide which rules have penalties, though, because many do. Some do and some don't. I don't know why they do that. We suggest, yes, Evelyn. Okay, well, we're going to move on to number 3. Window of opportunity for the last discard. Any player can claim a discard as long as the next player has not racked a picked tile from the wall, or the next player discards their picked tile from the wall. Also, the window of opportunity closes on the last discard if a player requests a joker exchange. So 3 things can close the window of opportunity on the previous discard. Either a player has picked and racked, a player has picked and discarded. Some people don't rack, they just pick and discard. When that discard is named, fully named, or hits the table, that closes the window of opportunity. Or if someone says, exchange please, or I'm exchanging your joker, or what have you. Anytime there's a joker exchange, that also closes the window of opportunity on the last discard. It stays on the confusing list, yes, I think so. Let's see, I think I'm going to rewatch this and make modifications based on what we've been saying. All right, next we're going to number 2, and this one we're going to go to the website. Mahjong in error, see wiki. You know why? Because there are several situations when Mahjong in error has different ramifications. So we're going to go to the wiki now. Fully named or hits the table, or is it fully named? Wait, okay, Maya. Wait a minute. Okay, let me go back a little bit. JL says, I didn't think you could call a joker until you had picked or called. You mean you don't think, I didn't think you could exchange a joker? Well, yeah, that's true. So somebody has to pick and rack before they do a joker exchange. That's one of the rules. But I remember hearing or reading a ruling that says that if someone does a joker exchange, that closes the window of opportunity. So that's written somewhere. I'm going to unearth that and figure out why that was written, because if they have, I believe it was in a bulletin. But if also the rule is that you can't do a joker exchange until you started your turn, whether it's either picking and racking or completing an exposure after calling a discard, then you could do a joker exchange. But before then, those 2 situations would close the window of opportunity. So I'll rework that. I think what happened with that one is that some of these rulings precede the other. So the one with the joker exchange closes the window of opportunity is before the time when it was defined the beginning of a player's turn. And by the way, that is on the back of the card. So what I might do is pull a bunch of cards and see when the line on the back of the card is, it's in the middle of the first panel. It says a player's turn begins when they either pick or claim a tile. But it's actually upon racking, because even a call can be interrupted. And even a pick can be interrupted with a call. So it's when a picked tile is racked or an exposure is on the flat part of the rack. Those are the 2 qualifiers. So I'll research that out and make modifications. My is at or and. Okay. Okay, so Maya is asking, fully named or hits the table? Or is it fully named and hits the table? It's or. So the window of opportunity is closed when a tile is either fully named, or no, that's really a commitment to a discard. When a tile is fully named or it hits the table, that ends a player's turn. But sometimes people will pick and discard, and if they didn't rack, the previous discard could be called. But if they picked, fully named the discard, that is a discard, and therefore the window of opportunity should be closed. Because the rule is you end your turn when your discard is either fully named or the discard hits the table. Because some people just put the tile down and then they'll say what the tile is. So it's one or the other. Yes, that's correct. Pick, rack, discard. Yes. Okay. Oh, Kathleen said something. What did I miss? Imagine I drew a 3 crack from the wall, and it can be used for a joker exchange. That is it. Yes. You can say joker exchange by announcing the joker exchange. I have closed the window. Absolutely. Thank you, Kathleen. I need to add that to the slide. That is exactly correct. That is exactly what it is. That's a great clarification. Thank you. Let's see. Yep. Okay, let me see here. They should rack but might not, given there isn't any penalty. Yep. It has to be put on the rack, otherwise it's possible for another player to change their mind. I mean, but even if you draw a tile, you should just rack it and then look at it. I don't look at it until I rack it. Once I rack it and then see it's a joker, or it's a tile that can be used for a joker exchange, well then I'll do the joker exchange, but I don't even look at it until it's in my rack, usually. Yes, okay, we're gonna move, we're gonna go to Mahjong and error. All right, so I'm gonna bring this over and we're gonna go to the wiki and see. Okay. Oh my gosh, look. Okay, we have Mahjong and error. We're not going to look at all these because I'm hoping that we'll get to play some Mahjong. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 scenarios in here with Mahjong in error. We'll just talk about it from the title, I guess. Actually, I don't think it'll take that long once I get them open. Because even the title basically says the result. Okay, so here's the first one. Okay, where are we? I'm making it bigger. Can you see it now? How's that? Mahjong in error with a partial exposure. When a player declares Mahjong in error and they expose new tiles from their hand should be declared dead by another player. If they expose all or part of their hand, that hand is invalid, or if they say, oh shoot, I can't, no. Once they start exposing tiles, that's Mahjong in error and the hand is dead. If nobody else, well here, we're gonna go to the next one. Oh, that's okay, Evelyn, no worries. Okay, the next one, Mahjong in error with a destroyed wall. Player A declares Mahjong in error. They stop playing. Player B throws in their hand and destroys the wall. Player B stops playing and is responsible for paying the remaining players with intact hands. That would be player C and D. That's another thing. Like if people get upset and they throw their tiles in and destroy the wall. Okay, the next one, Mahjong in error with a winning tile wanted by another player. This is interesting. When a player declares Mahjong in error and another player wants to claim the discard for an exposure, the tile must remain with the dead hand. If the player wants to claim the discard to declare Mahjong, they get the tile. So the Mahjong in error stays, you know, the game ends, and unless it's for a discard. Oh, no, that's, yeah, because the tile stays with the dead hand. But if somebody wants it for Mahjong, then they get the tile. Okay, I'm going to leave that one up because I have a boo-boo in there. Okay, Mahjong in error with 3 dead hands. If a player declares Mahjong in error, they stop playing. Player B and C throw in their hands without verifying the winning hand. They have to stop playing. And player D is the only one with the intact hand. Player D collects payment from player A, the value of the hand player A was playing, which sounds kind of strange, but that's what the league says. And the source is on the bottom of all of these, by the way. Okay, the next one, Mahjong in error with 3 dead hands, another scenario. Player A declares Mahjong in error and they stop playing. Player B throws in their hand, so they have to stop playing. Their hand is dead also. The game proceeds with players C and D. Then player C has exposures showing they need a tile to complete a pair, but all their tiles are visible. So player C's hand is declared dead by player D. And what happens then is player D collects payment from player C, double the value of the hand that player C was attempting to make. That's the ruling by the league. These are all pretty complex here. Okay, the next one, 3 dead hands without Mahjong in error. Without, oh, we don't need that one. That's without Mahjong in error. Mahjong in error with thrown in hands. Player A declares Mahjong in error. They stop playing. The game proceeds. B, let's see. With thrown, oh, this one's a problem. Ignore that. Ignore the man behind the curtain there. Mahjong in error for 2 players and another tossed in their hand. We kind of talked about that one already, so I'm going to leave those up and I'll circle back and tidy that up. Okay, so those are all the scenarios with Mahjong in error. Depending on what happens, and basically the complexity is with who pays who, especially if people throw in their hands and don't validate the winning hand. You can avoid that whole mess if you just wait and just pause a beat. If someone has Mahjong in error, or when someone declares Mahjong, validate the hand. After you validate the hand, then that will determine the next step. Either there's Mahjong in error and everybody else continues, or someone doesn't validate the hand and throws in their hand. That's when it gets messy. So if you just pause a beat, validate the hand, then you can avoid all those errors, all those troubles. Yeah, it can get messy. Okay, so the last one, I wonder if any of you, oops, have guessed it, simultaneous situations. Simultaneous situations, and this is the last one. So with the simultaneous situations, there's a bunch of these too here. Actually, it's not too bad. Simultaneous. Okay. Call for a discard with a simultaneous pick and rack. If a player claims a discard at the exact same time as another player picks and racks, The player who picked the tile from the wall must defer to the other player, and the tile goes back in the wall just as it was, even if it was seen. It has to go back. And so that's when the pick rack is at the exact same time as someone said call. The person who racked the tile has to put it back. So that's one. Yes, that's correct, Sue. She said, I saw false Mahjong. Everyone tossed in their hand because they trusted the Mahjong declarer. Yep, you got to validate the hand. Simultaneous call for Mahjong. When two players claim a discard for Mahjong at the same time, the player whose turn is next gets the tile, unless the other player also exposed tiles from their hand. Then they would get the tile. And this, the reason for this ruling, this is the slamming rule, that's what it's become known as, slamming. That's where somebody maybe is not paying attention and they delay their declaration because they're just off in la la land, or they're studying their hand or studying the card or what have you, and somebody else declares Mahjong and exposes tiles. If they're too late, then the other player gets the discard. I think we've all gone through this ruling over and over, but that is the rule that the league laid down. Okay, simultaneous call for exposure. It's the same rule. Basically, when two players call the discard for the same reason, the player next in line gets the tile unless the other player exposed tiles. So if both called it for Mahjong, that ruling applies. If both called it for an exposure, that ruling applies. But if there's a simultaneous call where one person calls it for an exposure, that's this one, and one person calls it for Mahjong, the player who calls it for Mahjong gets the tile. My question is, what happens if somebody does the slamming thing, or the player who's got Mahjong delays? So let's say a discard is named and somebody says call and exposes, and then someone else says, wait, I have Mahjong. I'm thinking the league would rule for the Mahjong. Mahjong always gets the tile. Has anyone ever had that? No one plays that way in real life. If I were to play in a group and it were my group, if I was leading the game, if it was in my home, I would say whoever's next in line, regardless. Okay, so I think that does it for simultaneous call for Mahjong. And here's one where we have a simultaneous call for Mahjong with a misnamed discard. Sometimes a player will discard a tile and misname it, and another player declares Mahjong on the misnamed tile, and the win is valid. However, when another person needs the actual tile that was discarded, they get the tile for their Mahjong. So this was in a bulletin in 2020. The player who wants the actual tile that was thrown gets Mahjong, not the player who needed the incorrectly named tile. Simultaneous call for Mahjong with a misnamed discard. That's kind of a complex situation. Has this ever happened to anybody? I'm going to leave this one open too, because this is one that should be, this one's not in Mahjong Made Easy. So this needs to go on the list of rulings not in Mahjong Made Easy. I need to make sure I check this one, because this is not in Mahjong Made Easy. I'm certain of it. Because if it were, the source would be Mahjong Made Easy, and it's not. It's the bulletin. Okay. So that does it for the presentation. And we're 6 minutes to the top of the hour. Basically, if you have any questions about rulings, if you're playing in a game and you have internet access, use the wiki. Put in a couple keywords so that you can find an article where there's a ruling from the league. And the source is on all the articles where there's a ruling. And you can find that wiki on mahjlife.com. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing now. Let's see, we're gonna, let's see here. Anybody have any questions or rulings that they want to go over that were not in the presentation? I think those are the top 10 complex rules, in my opinion. If you guys think that there are other rules that are confusing, send them to me in an email and I'll look at them and reassess my list, because I'd love to have a top 10 complex rules. If you guys think I made the right choices, please let me know. You're welcome. Let's see. Very helpful, says Shirley. Sue, thank you. Thank you so much. The wiki's amazing. Thank you, Kathleen. If players are picking and racking and discarding and exposing correctly, the rules would be irrelevant. Is that what you're trying to say, Bonnie? The rules would be self-evident. Self-evident. Okay, got it. Okay. Oh, thank you, Jingles. All right, we're going to play some Mahjong now. Sound good? There we go. We'll play some Mahjong now. If anybody has any questions about rules, you can ask while we play, and we can just open it up for social play now. We get to play for an hour. We're almost at the top of the hour. Of course, we won't be breaking any rules here because the game is automated. You're welcome, Bonnie. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. We're going to start a game right now. Here we go. Shuffle up and deal. Okay, let's see. What do we have? No flowers. We do have a joker, which is nice. 1, 2, 5, 7, 8 in BAMs. 2, 4, 8, 9 in cracks with a pair of nines. 7, 8 in dots and a west. All right, we're going to build around the nines. That's the only multiple that we have. So with those nines, we could maybe play something consecutive. We have 7, 8, 7, 8, and here's an 8. But we also have big odd potential. 5, 7, 9. 5, 7, 7, 9. And we have tiles we can pass. Here we go. 1, 2, 4. Right now we can chat. No longer nitty-gritty. That's true. That's correct, Karen. We've gotten through the nitty-gritty part of the night, so now we can just do social play. Unless somebody has a question. Maya says, a friend I played with today said she needed Michele by her side at the table to guide her through the Charleston. Oh, I wish I could have been there. Okay, so now we're going to pass, let's say, we're hoarding big numbers, 5 through 9 at the moment. So we're going to pass 2, 4 west. I think that's good. 2, 4 west. Thank you, Karen. We got through the nitty-gritty part. If anyone's joining the live stream now, you can watch the repost for the nitty-gritty portion of tonight's event. So here we have 5, 7, 5, 7, 9. We actually have no gaps for the second hand from the bottom on the right under odds. Let's see. So we have tiles we can pass here. 1, 4. I think 1, 4 looks good to me. 3, 4 would be more risky. 1, 3 maybe would be more risky too. Uh-oh. Oh, I hope things are okay with you, Evelyn. Okay, so now we have a dragon north and a 3. We should definitely keep going. We have 4 discards. We actually have more discards than that because we're kind of in between categories. We have odds and a big run. Well, a run with big numbers. 7, 8, 9. We don't have any 6s yet. I think we could discard these though. Oh, what would Michelle do t-shirt? Okay, okay, now there's another multiple right there, 8. So we have 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. We do have tiles we can pass, but I try not to pass 2 wins like this. Let's see, 7, 8, our multiples with the 9, 7, 8. I think what we should do is let this 8 dot go, because we also have, let's see here, we want to use the 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. Let's see here, we could play 5, 7, 5, 7, 9. Maybe we could let this 8 crack go. Let's see here, or maybe, let's see, 5, 7, oh, we're in between. Let's let the 8 dot go. Oh, I hope you're going to be better, Evelyn. That sounds painful. Okay, here's a 6. Now we have 5, 6, 7. We still have tiles we can pass, but I try not to pass 2 wins together. I think we could still maybe do 5, 7, 5, 7, 9. If we pair up one of the 5s, I think I would play that second hand from the bottom. But we're still kind of in between with consecutive. Let's let the 6 dot go. Well, it's not a gap hand if we play 5, 7, 5, 7, 9, second hand from the bottom. There's a multiple now with a west. I think what I would do here, let's see, we have 7, 8. Another thing I was thinking is maybe we could 7, 8, 9. I was thinking maybe we could play the concealed consecutive hand. Is that what someone was thinking? If you get the right 6, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm waiting for our opponent to say how many they want. I think we should do 2. But they're delaying. You let 2 wins go when you're in between? I try not to. There are a lot of hands with wins, and some of them are big hands. We're going to pass. We're just going to let it go. All right, we have lots of discards. We are an underdog for this hand. The pain is exquisite. Oh no, that's not good. Let's see here. Okay. All right, we're going to start by discarding these wins.
South wind.
Thanks for coming to the live stream.
7 dots.
We got through the nitty-gritty part. Okay, now this is where we need to make a decision. I would wait until we have one of these 5s. I would not commit to that 5, 7, 9 hand. Second one from the bottom under odds, because we need 2 pair and we don't have one yet. We need to have one in here before we commit to a hand, I think. Okay, so this one bam can go. The west can go.
3 bamboos.
So here we have 7, 8, 9 or 5, 7, 9. We're in between.
4 characters.
If we can get one of these 5s, I would start to pung and kong.
1 bamboo.
Pass. We can pass. 8. Okay, now we have another 8.
West wind.
All right, we have 7, 8.
2 bamboos.
8, 9, 7, 8. We're going to keep gathering. We still have a discard. We don't need to pick a hand yet.
5 bamboos.
Okay, there's one of our pair tiles.
3 characters.
Someone's thinking on that one. Okay, we got one of them. All right,
1
there
bamboo.
we go. So now, look at, we have 2 pair of 8s, but now we have 5 and 9. We have no gaps for the 5, 7, 9 hand.
4 dots.
The 8s are not really working with our 7s and 9s.
1 character.
We don't have the right 9. I was thinking maybe we could try for
3
7, 8, 9 with
bamboos.
8s in the middle, but somebody kept the 8 dot from the Charleston.
North wind.
So what I would do here is use the most of our multiples with a hand with no gaps. And that would be set 57579.
Flower.
57579. We can use the jokers to help us.
7 bamboos.
Okay, let's pung.
Pung.
All right, now we'll let the 8 bam go. Doesn't really matter at this
8
point.
bamboos.
I'm hoping we'll get jokers out of these if possible. Oh, shoot. They weren't ready for it. We're going to let that go right
2
away.
characters.
Okay, so we could pung the 7 or kong the 9, but not
Flower.
both. We still need a good discard in here to get
9
set.
bamboos.
Oh, 3 bam can go.
3 bamboos. 5 dots.
Uh-oh, that's our pair tile. Oh my goodness.
Flower.
If we have to, we could switch to 579, third hand on the right under odds.
7 bamboos.
Hi Lisa, welcome. Good to have you here.
2 dots.
Okay, here's a 6. Let's let the 8 go. I don't think that 6 is going to help.
8 bamboos.
Jingle says she just got a free member milestone chat. What does that mean?
1
I don't know
bamboo.
what that means. Free member milestone chat? I don't know what that
8
means.
8 bamboos.
Ignore it.
1 bamboo.
I don't know what that means either. Okay, 1 crack can go.
1 character.
So we have 5, 6, 7, 5, 9.
East wind.
I think the 6 can go. Let's hold on to this pair of 8s and see if maybe we can get a joker out of
6
it.
bamboos.
Like right about where that 6 bam just went down.
2 dots.
Green dragon. Dragons, 1 is out.
Green dragon. West wind. South wind.
5, 7, 9. We need that 5
7
dot.
characters.
A flower. I don't think that's going to be helpful right now. We're gonna let it go.
Flower. 9 characters.
Okay, let's Kong.
Kong.
Okay, we have 3 discards. Well, 2.
6 dots.
All right, what we need in here is a 5 dot or 9 crack. 9 crack would be nice because then we could pung the 7 and be ready on the 5. I'm a little bit nervous. We're kind of
7 characters.
We're kind of in a tight spot at the moment because we need a pair here.
7 bamboos. 2 dots.
We need a keeper. 9 bam. Nope.
9 bamboos. 9 characters. 3 dots.
Someone got our joker.
7 characters.
We might be able to switch to 5, 7,
6
7,
dots.
9 if our hand goes down with that 5 dot.
East wind.
Maybe switch to the third hand down on
White
the right.
dragon.
But we're okay at the moment. There's only
White
one
dragon.
5 dot out.
South wind.
We need a keeper. That would not be the keeper.
2 dots. Flower.
Okay, we need to
3 dots.
swap out the 8s. No 8 cracks have been discarded yet. I'm hoping we might see an
Kong.
exposure with a joker here.
6 bamboos.
There's a joker for exchange. Okay, 2 crack. 1 is out. Let's let the 8 crack
8
go
characters.
first. Nobody wanted it, so that won't be good joker bait
6
there.
characters. Pung. 4 characters.
We're gonna let the 8 crack go again.
8 dots.
Maybe the 2.
Mahjong.
Oh, we got a Mahjong. Oh, somebody over here had our 5. The other 5 was in the wall. Here we have a 2, 4, 6, 8 hand. Second hand from the bottom under evens. 2, 4 pair pung. 4, 6 pair pung. Kong 8. Over here we have an odd hand. 1, 3, 5 dragon probably. 1, 3, 5 dragon. And then here we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 in 1 suit. No. What are they doing? 1, 3 Kong. A Kong 3? If they're playing 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, that should have been a Pung. I'm not sure what they're doing. All right, we're going to jump to the next game. Yeah, that's kind of strange. Always fun, win or not. That's right, Sue. Okay, we just are waiting for someone to join our table now. Okay, here we go. Next game. Happy New Year, Foxy Gal. All right, we have mixed suits, even Steven here. 4 bam, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9 in cracks, singles, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5 in dots, pair 5, and a west and a south. So whatever we do, we're going to play with 5s. So we have consecutive run, 1 or 3, 4, 5 here. 3, 4, 5. I think we should hold 2, 3, 4, 5, and we even have tiles we can pass. So I would hold on to 1 through 5 or 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how this goes. We're building around the 5 dot. Building around 5 dot. We got a 1. We could maybe switch to odds, little odds. Let's see here. Dragon, the dragon we may or may not be able to use. Since we have no 3, let's see, 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 4. Let's see, 4 bam, 3, 4. What about 3, 4, 5 with 4s in the middle? Let's let the dragon go and hold number tiles. Number tiles are much more efficient than dragons. Okay, we got a 7. That's an odd tile, and we do have 1, 3, 5, 7. No 9 though. Let's let the 2 crack go. And I also think I don't like passing. I really don't like passing 2 wins together. Let's let the 7 dot go. Because without a 9, that is a pair gap. Let's see here. We want to keep the north and let the 7 go. Because if we get north and south, maybe we could do north and south with single pair pung. Oh, look. We just got the 2 and a 9, by the way. Okay, so we definitely want to keep going. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. There's also maybe a 7 dot coming back around. If somebody didn't keep it, I would let this north go. And then maybe the 5 and the 3. Because we still might be able to do 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5 with 4s in the middle. Or if we get that 7 back, we could do 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. We might also be able to do 1 through 5 in one suit. How many wins do you normally have before you decide to keep them from the onset? It depends really on the tiles that I have to go with it, but I'd say maybe 4. Okay, now we have to make a choice. I would let the north go since we don't have the 7 anymore, and probably I'd break up the south. I do not want to be left with, actually, you know what, maybe the north will come back. Let's keep it. So usually, Lisa, maybe 4 from the onset, especially if there's a multiple. If they're singles, depending on what I have in the other tiles, I probably would focus on number tiles. We did end up getting that 7, but now, of course, we have no north. I mean, no 9. Let's see here. I wouldn't pass blind. We have two potential hands here with no gaps. We could do 1 through 5, or we could do 3, 4, 5 with 4s in the middle. We just got a 5. So now we have a pung there. And we do have tiles we can pass. We're in between, so I think I would do 2 here. West and 1. You're welcome, Lisa. You're welcome. Okay, 1 and west. Okay, we got a keeper 4. We're still in between.
West
and
wind.
We did get the north back, by the way. We could do north and south with 3, 4, 5. But
9
it's
characters.
pretty weak at the moment. Let's let the 5 go.
5 characters.
So we're in between 3 hands.
East wind.
And that would leverage the multiples.
3 characters.
If we did north and south with the run, single pair pung, 3, 4,
7
5.
dots.
Or we could do 1 through 5.
8
But
bamboos.
I wouldn't commit to 1 through 5 unless we
8
get the 1 or 2
bamboos.
paired up.
West wind.
Either way, we could probably let go of north and south. It looks like somebody kept wins. Maybe. There was a hesitation
West
on
wind.
that. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, now there's a joker. Okay, I think we need to let something go. I think we should let the 4s go.
4 characters.
Because here, if
9
we
dots.
pair up the 1 or 2, we'll be set for the hand.
Red dragon.
And then here with north and south, I'm
6
thinking somebody
characters.
might be playing north and south besides us.
1 character.
Somebody else might be playing north and south.
North wind.
Okay, so that's the decider for me now. We're going to let it go. We're going to focus
6
on 1 through
characters.
5. 1 through 5, we can pung the 4, Kong the 5.
9
We
bamboos.
need help with the 1, 2 though. That's the kicker at the moment.
9 characters. 8 characters.
We need to pair up 1 or 2. Anytime there's 2 pair in a hand,
7 dots.
I like to have at least
3
one of them in the
characters.
hand before committing with exposures.
9
Because
dots.
if you're playing that and somebody has a pung of
6
one of your tiles that
characters.
you need, you could be painting yourself into a
1
corner.
bamboo.
We don't want that to happen.
1 bamboo.
Oh, 2 bam, wrong suit.
2 bamboos.
Probably what I should do here is start holding on to number tiles and letting the winds go.
8 characters.
Because we would need, we
8
would need,
dots.
although I'm kind of waiting because even if we get another north, we could Kong and then we would just need
9
another south.
characters.
Let's just see what happens.
7
North
characters.
went down. Didn't a north, there it is, it's in front of us. The player on our right discarded that north, I think, because I know we didn't do it.
7 characters. 1 dot.
There's our tile. Okay, 1 dot. We need to pair that, so I'm kind of glad we have north
8
and south
dots.
because we can at least use jokers there, and we have our single pair
7
pung in
characters.
the hand for north and south with single pair pung.
9 bamboos. 8 characters.
Okay, we need a good keeper in here.
East wind.
Oh boy, 6. Let's let the 4 go.
4 bamboos.
We could do pung, pung, kong, kong now. 3, 4,
8
5,
dots.
6. Pung, pung, kong, kong. 3, 4,
1
5, 6.
character.
This would be the 5th hand down on the
Kong.
left under consecutive run.
9 dots.
So I think I would let go of the news hand.
2
Somebody
characters.
else is playing either news or somebody is playing
4
north and south.
characters.
Let's let it go.
North wind.
If the ones keep going
4
down,
characters.
we could play 3, 4, 5, 6, and we can use any number of jokers there. We could even pung and
7
Kong.
dots.
We could pung the 3, pung the 4, and even Kong the 5, and still play
8
one or
bamboos.
the other hand there.
South wind.
Okay, not too much of a hesitation there.
West wind.
Winds are going down now.
2 bamboos. 3 characters.
Oh, and then we get the south. Darn it.
South
Oh
wind.
well, that's all right. This hand looks pretty good, I think.
2 characters.
It's still a little
3
weak,
bamboos.
but we're in between. First hand under consecutive run or
6
fifth hand.
dots.
Oh, that's one of our potential tiles. But we can use jokers if we need to.
South wind.
We need one
6
or
dots.
2 dot in here. Oh, pass. I would probably let go of that hand now, because that we would need 2 jokers
4
there.
bamboos.
We're going into the end game now.
6 characters.
Oh, we got the north.
North wind.
Darn it. Well, I'm not clairvoyant, that's for sure.
5 bamboos.
Although I did think...
Mahjong.
Oh, there's another winner. 5 bam. I'm glad I didn't discard that tile. 5, 6, 7 with dragons and flowers. Well done. There. Here we have 1, 3, 5 dragon. Probably 1, 3, 5 dragon. And then over here we have a contender, or we have, this player is playing with the same tiles. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we had 2, 3, 4, 5. We were in each other's business. All right, let's go again. Okay. Okay. I think the problem you have is with Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong. Is that Murphy's Law? Something like that? Okay. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong. Is that Murphy's Law? Okay. Let's see if we can get a win in. All right, we have 1, 4, 6, 9 and bam, 6, 9 and cracks, 1, 4, 9 and dots with a pair of 4s, green and white dragon, and then a west. So I would build around the 4s here. So the 1s and 9s would go. I think what I would do though, because we have all the 9s, is keep the 9s. So let's let go of a 6, a 1, and a west, and keep the dragons. We could maybe play like numbers with 9s or 4s. I'd keep the 4s because we have a multiple, but we do have all the 9s. We just got the other 4, so now we can let the 9s go. So let's see here. We can let the 1, the 8, and the 2 go still. We are still kind of in between. We could still maybe do like numbers with 9s if we get them paired up. Oh, look, we got another multiple, the 4. We're optimized for like numbers here. So we're going to let the 5, let's let the 5 and the 9 dot go, I guess. Or actually, it really doesn't matter. Let's let the 9 crack go. Either way, we can commit to 4s because that's where we have 2 multiples. 4s with like numbers, 4s with dragons. And then we get a 9. We got a 9. Well, we could keep it, I guess, for a little bit. Although it could be risky, because if we get keepers, we'll be stuck with a pair. Let's see here. I'm thinking we should let the 9 go, break it up. Because if we get all keepers, we're going to be stuck with a pair. And hopefully, if this goes well, we won't have enough discards to use that as joker bait. That pair that you don't need for joker bait doesn't really work until you're in the middle game. We got like numbers with 1s. I think we should keep that 5. We have enough discards to, let's see here. I don't want to pass a 1 and a 9 in one suit. We have 4, 5. Let's just keep the 5 for a bit and see. We might be able to switch to 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5 dragon, maybe. Okay, so let's keep this 5 here. Let's pass east 1 and 9. 1, 9 in different suits. That's kind of what I was mapping out in my mind. Break up the 9 dot. Because now we could do 4, 5, 4, 5 dragon. 4th hand down under consecutive run. We do have 3 tiles we can pass. Let's see what our opponent wants here. I like to be reactive in the optional cross, so we need to wait just a minute here for them to say how many tiles they want. Because if they want 1, I will decline. Let's see, they're delaying. They may have heard me say this before. I do not want to pass if they want 1 tile, and we cannot negotiate here. It is not a negotiation. You say how many you want, and then you're locked in. So we're going to say no. All right, we have 4 discards and 2 potential hands. We do have an extra discard in here probably, maybe even 2. 1 or 2 extra discards because we're in between. We can do either 4, 5, 4, 5 dragon, no gaps, 4th hand down under consecutive run, or we could do like numbers with 4s and dragons. That would be leveraging the 4s. So we're just waiting. What happened to this? What are we waiting for here? I bet you someone's playing on a mobile device because there's a bug in the game. I think are we stuck? Not me. It's not me. Okay.
1 character. 2 dots. 1 character.
All right. Let's see. We got a keeper. Dragon.
2
now,
dots.
We could maybe play, if we get the 5 dot, which just went down, we could do 4, 5,
2
4,
characters.
5 dragon. But I think like numbers with dragons
Southwind.
looks pretty good. Here's a 4 also. So let's discard this 5, the west.
West wind.
I think we should play like numbers with 4s. We have the dragons.
East wind.
We even have a pair in there.
1
so
bamboo.
We need 2 good picks, and we'll be set. So we need a 4 bam and a 4 crack. Okay, 9 crack can go.
9 characters.
We're playing like numbers with dragons. 2nd hand down under any like number.
2 bamboos. 6
okay,
dots.
so that 2 bam, we can escalate that.
5 bamboos.
Oh, south. Those go first.
South wind.
I like to keep number tiles because they're more likely going to be in
5
exposures
characters.
with jokers. right now,
1 dot.
all of our tiles have been discarded for our discards here. We need to Kong that, so we're going to pass. It'd be kind of nice if we could get a red dragon, because then we can make that 4 crack our Pung and Kong the
5
4
dots.
dot, but we're in a waiting pattern here. There's nothing we can do about the 4 crack. A red dragon would be
West
ideal.
wind.
Oh well, we got the white dragon. That's
5
okay.
characters.
So we're gonna need a joker for the 4 crack.
4 bamboos.
Uh-oh, we needed that. We're
6
okay though.
bamboos.
There's still 3 more, or 2 more.
3 bamboos.
5 crack. That is out. Let's let the 2 bam go.
2 bamboos. 1 dot. North wind. 8 characters.
We got the red dragon.
5
right there.
characters.
Look there. Okay, so now
3
we have an
dots.
option. We could Pung the next 4 crack, and then
Red dragon.
Pung the. Oh, hold on. Oh, there was a hesitation on that red.
West wind.
We got a joker.
6 bamboos.
Okay, now because there was a hesitation on the red, oh, let's see. We're still in between. We can use that joker maybe for the 4
9 bamboos.
We kind of have options in here, but
Mahjong.
oh my goodness, we are getting so close. Okay, so we have a winner here. Very nice. 369 concealed. 369 concealed. Here we have 789 dragon. Looks like maybe, let's see, 789. I don't know what they're doing. I think they're gathering. And then over here we have the player who had the red dragon. It looks like maybe they were trying for like numbers with 7s and dragons. Oh, this was coming together nicely. All right, let's play again. Oh, look, we missed the opportunity here. All right. Okay, let's see if we can get in a winner. It's always nice to win at least once. We've had some really weak hands. Well, we've had a multiple in each deal, but you still have to build up and draw well, and in as well have a strong Charleston. So it's been a rough night. We're having to work for it. All right, maybe we'll get a nice strong deal this time. We're looking for multiples, please. We need someone else to join the table, though. Okay, my bangs are really bothering me here. Okay, we're ready to go now. Okay, now we have a guest at the table. I hope they don't stop the Charleston. There's somebody with the name guest who always stops the Charleston. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? We've got 2 multiples now. We got to make this one work here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to work with consecutive numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have to pick a hand till we run out of discards. We have 2, 3 consecutive pairs at the moment. We got a 1, 3. Okay, we need to think about this though. Here's 1, 2, 3 consecutive pairs. Let's let the north go. And the 8, we have to decide. I think we should break up the 3. Because we could do Pung Pung Kong Kong with 1 through 4 right there. Or we could play 1, 2, 3 with flowers. Sometimes you can't use all the multiples. I asked for multiples and I got multiples. we got a keeper here. 1 dot. That's a nice keeper there. Let's discard 3, 8 west. We have a nice start now here. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3 flower. So we're playing maybe the third hand down or the fifth hand down on the left. Oh, we got another keeper here. Very nice. All right, now we have to make a choice. Do we stop the Charleston? We really can keep going. I think what I'd rather do here is stop the Charleston and say I want 2. Because we could do pung, pung, kong, kong. We're 1 away from set. Or we could keep going and pass the 4 and hope for a flower. Let's keep going. This is a little painful because I like the idea of 1, 2, 3, 4, but we're set for 1, 2, 3 kongs. 1, 2, 3 kongs. We're playing the third hand down. Let's see, maybe we'll get the 4 dot back. You vote to stop. I kept on going. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me see, Bonnie. It is good for a newbie like you, a newbie like me. Oh, we got the 4 back. To see that even an experienced player doesn't always get Mahjong. That's right. I sometimes think if I don't get Mahjong, I didn't do something right. No, because you still have to draw well. Okay, we got the 4 dot. They want 3, but I don't like passing 2 wins. We're so close, though, to both of our hands. I think we can risk it. All right, now we could play 1, 2, 3, 4, pung, pung, kong, kong, fifth hand down on the left, or we can play the third hand down in 1 suit, but we need a flower. Oh, no keepers. But they gave us a wind, which is good because we gave them 2.
South wind.
Okay, we're doing good here. We have only,
Red dragon.
well, we have 3 discards probably, one way or the other.
North wind.
So we are a contender for this game.
North wind.
Yep, Maya, I like that.
West wind.
Well, Maya says, once I let go of winning, things got more fun. I'm either going to win or lose, and it's so much luck. Well, the way I like to look at it is you
1 character.
play to enjoy the journey,
6
and
dots.
you either win or learn. And I didn't make that up. That's Nelson Mandela's quote. He said, I never lose. I either win or learn. It's a great quote. I love that mindset.
Green dragon.
You either win or learn. Never lose. Win or learn.
5
Always
characters.
look for a jewel along the way. Something that you can take with you to make you a better player along the way.
4 dots.
And it could be all kinds of different things. Okay, for that 4 dot, we're not ready for it. So we're going to let it go. And I would probably discard that.
6 characters.
We could Kong 1, 2, 3 and be ready on a flower.
3 characters.
I would love to draw a flower though.
Kong.
We got skipped.
2 characters. 8 characters.
We need a flower. Oh, look, we got a 2.
4 bamboos.
Okay, well now I would consider maybe keeping the
5
4.
dots.
Because we have pung pung. We could Kong the 3.
3 bamboos.
Okay, we'll see if we can get a flower in here though.
3 bamboos.
I don't know.
8
though.
characters.
We have pung pung. We could Kong the 3 either way.
4 dots.
Oh, there goes the other 4 dot. Nope, we're gonna play 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll be ready on a flower, I guess.
4 characters.
But we might be able to do
7
this one
dots.
pure, maybe. Let's see. 6 dot is out. 3 bam is out. We're still in the middle game,
6
but
dots.
we have so few discards. Let's hold the 3 bam because there are
1
2 out.
character.
That's a good safe discard.
South wind.
So when we discard our last
Green
discard to get
dragon.
ready to win, we'll have a good tile to let go of.
5 characters.
Confident discard.
8 dots. 6
Nobody
characters.
wants either one of these.
4 bamboos.
Okay, we need a flower, really. Oh,
4 dots.
I probably should have kept that 4 now. Shoot. That's all right. We're one away from... We have
2
one
characters.
discard.
Joker.
Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Well, we have 2, 3
4
bams
bamboos.
out. A flower. Nice.
3 bamboos.
Okay. All right, now we're ready to win on a 1, 2, or 3 dot.
4 dots.
All those 4s really went down.
9 bamboos.
Ready to win on a 1, 2, or 3. None are out.
5 bamboos.
Uh-oh. Another flower. We really don't need that, though. We're going to discard a flower.
Flower.
Make it pretty. This is a pretty hand.
5 characters.
1, 2, 3 dot.
1
for the
character.
win.
Flower.
Somebody threw a joker, though. I thought it was the player across from us. North. That's out.
North wind.
We need 1, 2, 3.
Flower.
Oh, shoot. Nope. A joker would be nice, yes.
7 dots.
That would be a self-pick win if we could do that.
Flower.
Oh my goodness. 6 bam. Uh-oh. I'm playing to win.
6 bamboos. Pung.
Oh.
Flower.
Oh my goodness, these flowers. Everyone's ditching the flowers.
7
2, 3,
characters.
4.
8
5
dots.
flowers are out. There's only 1 more left.
West
So
wind.
if somebody needed a pair, the player across
4
from
characters.
us, they're not going to get it.
2 characters.
2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4,
7
5.
characters.
There are 5 flowers out plus my 2. Okay, 7 dot. 2 are out.
7 dots.
They might have been waiting on a pair of flowers, maybe.
9 characters.
That might be why they discarded the joker. Maybe. Wouldn't the joker have made Mahjong? For who?
6 dots.
We're not ready to win. We're not ready. Did I miss something?
2 dots.
Oh, there it is. Mahjong. We got it.
Mahjong.
We got a win. Woohoo! 1, 2, 3 Kongs with the help of jokers. That's okay. No shame. No shame in my game. All right, we have 5 through 9. Ready to win on a 9 bam. Ready to win on a 9 bam. That was close. That was a close race here. Over here we have, I'm not sure what we have here. I almost wonder if they're at the wrong table. It looks like they have a Hong Kong Mahjong hand. Pung and Chow there. I don't know what's going on. Here, like numbers with 9s and dragons. All right, we could maybe play one more game. Thank you so much for the kudos for that hand. It is always nice, I think, to win at least once. Always nice to win at least once, don't you think? Let's see, hopefully we won't have to wait too long here. All right, shuffle up and deal. Oh, no worries, Maya. Thank you so much for coming. You're welcome, Maya. Thank you. We'll see you on Friday, maybe. Friday night, the next live stream. Friday night for the Simply Social Let's Play live stream. All right, we have a flower, 1, 2 in bams, 4, 7, 9 in cracks, 1, 3, 6 in dots with a pair of 3s, and then we have north, west, and south. I do see a predominant pattern here of 1, 2, 3, 4. We also have a little bit of 3, 6, 9. I don't think we should try for odds though. I think we could probably let the 1 bam go, and maybe even, let's see here, we do have almost news, but I'd rather keep number tiles, and I don't like passing 2 wins. Thank you, Karen. Oh, we just got that 1. Okay, now here's a 9. 3, 6, 9. 3, 6, 9 is building, and we did get a wind. Okay, let's let the 1 go. Let's focus on either 3, let's see, 3, 6, 9. 3, 6, 9. We do have 3, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I think we should let the winds go. And then we have to decide between 3, 6, 9 or 2, 3, 4. I think we have 1 extra tile with 3, 6, 9. So let's discard the 4. We're going to focus on 3, 6, 9. We're going to have work to do here though. We did get a 4 and a west. Okay, so now we're going to hoard wins. Let's see if we can gather wins. We have discards, so we can afford to hoard wins and see if we can turn this around. 3, 6, 9, I think so, but I like to have more representation with 3, 6, 9. Even though we have no gaps, it's really weak. Just 1 multiple. Maybe this 9 crack can go. We got a west, so there's a multiple in there now. We got the 2, 3 now. 2, 3, multiple pungs in there, or pairs. 2, 3. I think we should keep going. Since we have 2, 3 pungs, I think we should go back to consecutive run and let the winds go. West, 9 cracks, 6 dot. We have 2 multiples. We're building around the multiple. So we're kind of starting over. Maybe the 1 bam will come back. We could do 1, 2, 3, 4. Pung Kong. Pung Kong. I think that's the easiest hand on the card. Pung Kong, Pung Kong. You can use any number of jokers with that shape. We got 4s. We're going to keep it. It's in our range. Even the 1 is, for that matter. But it's really not the right one. I would not pass 2 wins. We're going to let that go. We'll let a 1 go, I think. Let's see. Let's think about this for a minute. Maybe this 4... Oh, no. We have 2, 3, 4 mixed suit Kongs in here. Let's let the 7, 9 go with a wind. Because we could do 2, 3, 4 mixed suit Kongs. No gaps. 2, 3, 4 mixed suit Kongs. 3rd hand down on the right. We got another 4 and a 1. We got another multiple in there. It's not really too helpful at the moment though. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to hold them. And we have 2 tiles we can pass. We have to make a choice. 3, 4, 2, 4. Let's let the 4 bam go. What would be ideal here is to get the other 2s. We could do 1, 2, 3 with 2s in the middle, but we've got 2 pair gaps. So I probably wouldn't play that hand. Maybe 2, 3, 4 mixed suit Kongs. 2 bam, 3 dot, 4 crack. We have no gaps for that hand. 3rd hand down on the right under consecutive run. We got the 4 bam back. We could keep it because we have tiles we can pass. Let's see how many our opponent wants. hopefully, okay, they want 2. We can do 2. So we're going to do south and 9. It'd be nice if maybe we could get 2s or maybe the 1 bam. A happy mess. That's all right. We can work it out. Oh, well, we got the 369 back. All right. Yeah, we've got lots of discards in here. I think I would let the 369 go here. And I would even let this dragon go. Oh, look what we got. Let's let the dragon go.
Green dragon.
Okay, there's 1, 2, 3. We have a 2. I think the 4 band probably can go. And probably even that 4 crack. So we could we could do 1, 2, 3. Well, maybe let's keep that 4 crack. Because maybe we could do 2, 3, 4 mixed suit Kongs. If we get the 2 crack though, we can maybe do 1, 2, 3 with 2s in the middle.
8 dots.
That's the 3rd hand from the bottom under consecutive run. That's a 30-point hand.
Green dragon.
Let's just see how this goes. We're going to gather.
East wind.
We're just going to gather. We've got discards, so we really don't have to pick a hand till we run out of discards. Or until a tile goes down. But we're not ready to call anything anyway. Incidentally, a 2 dot is out, and that could be a keeper for us.
7 dots.
Ongoing. Okay, now, that's an interesting pick. Because we could switch to
8
the
dots.
1, 2, 3 dragon. 1, 2, 3
3
dragon.
bamboos.
3rd hand from, or 2nd hand from the bottom.
West wind.
We're definitely in consecutive run, for sure. I think the 4 bam, though, is an outlier.
6 dots.
8 bam. 8 bam can go.
8 bamboos. West wind. Flower.
There's a hesitate. Oh, we have Kathleen at the table. I just noticed.
5 dots.
Okay, south we don't need.
South wind. 2 bamboos.
That's our tile, but we're not ready for it. That's okay. We could still maybe do 1, 2, 3.
2 characters.
1, 2, 3 dragon, maybe? Or 1, 2, 3 with 2s in the middle?
2 characters.
Oh, there goes our tile. Okay, now, hold on. We have 1 through 6 in here now. Let's let the 4 bam go.
4 bamboos.
We have 1 through 5, 1 through 6. We have a 2 bam. We were thinking maybe 2
North
bam,
wind.
3 dot, 4 crack. I think the 6 can go.
East
Usually
wind.
you want 4 numbers in a range around your multiples, so that 6 is pretty far out. But if we
2
build it
dots.
up, we might be able... Oh my goodness, look what we got. A 7. We could try for the pair hand maybe. There are 2 7 dots out though. I would not risk it. We're going to let it go.
7
There
dots.
are 2 7 dots out and we threw one of them.
4 dots.
Oh, that was one of our tiles maybe.
3 bamboos.
That's okay. We're still going to gather. We're in gather mode.
7 bamboos.
9 dot. No.
9
Let's
dots.
see. Lisa's asking, is American Mahjong your favorite version
East
to play
wind.
at Mahjong time? If so, what is your second favorite version online?
5
Oh,
bamboos.
Lisa, that's a hard question because I truly love them all. I really do. Each one of them has
6
a
bamboos.
fun element. I can't pick my favorite. I
1
love
character.
Wright-Patterson Mahjong is coming up, so we've been practicing that. I grew up playing that game. I like this version because
West wind.
it's the most commonly played version, and so I have for the last
8
several
characters.
years, probably since 2017, I've really started
5 bamboos.
studying the nuances of this particular version. And so I have learned strategies that make me enjoy the game more. But I have to admit, I did
6
not like this
dots.
version when I first learned it. I felt it was very,
5 dots.
I felt it was restrictive. But
White dragon.
I've learned the nuances of the game.
South wind.
And I've gained confidence with decision making. So I do enjoy this game. All right, now we have 1, 2, 3 mixed-suit Kongs in here. I would probably let this 5 dot go.
5
I
dots.
love Hong Kong Mahjong because it's quick and easy. I love
North
Taiwanese
wind.
Mahjong because you get more to work with. You get 5 sets and a
5
pair.
characters.
And I love Ricci Mahjong because it's sophisticated and very strategic. I enjoy Mahjong competition rules
Kong.
because it's like an a la carte game where you can pick
4
and choose your
bamboos.
different components of the hand, and you can make just about anything work if you know the scoring elements. So every one of the versions
dragon.
have something to love. I just love it all. Really. I love them all.
5 characters.
You're welcome.
Red dragon.
Okay.
7 dots. 4
Evelyn,
bamboos.
what do you mean? Oh, let's see. Look, we got our 4 crack. We're going to put that over there. We're going to play, let's see. Let's let the white dragon go.
White
We're
dragon.
going to play 2, 3, 4 Kongs. 2, 3,
Red
4
dragon.
Kongs. Right there. Okay, now 2, 3,
2
4.
characters.
2 bam. We'll need a joker there.
6
We
bamboos.
need help with our 3 dot. None are out. No 4 cracks are out. 9 crack can go.
9
Oh,
characters.
thank you, Lisa. Why not discard the 4 cracks? Because we have 2, 3, 4 dragon, or 2, 3, 4 flower.
6 bamboos.
We have mixed-suit Kongs in here. And
9
we still
dots.
have the 2 dots are all down, so we can't play 1 through
1
5.
dot.
We're going to pass. 4 bam is already out. Okay, now we're in the end game, so we need to start thinking defense here.
4 dots.
Oh, Georgian
North wind.
chant. Okay.
6 bamboos.
I'm not musically
1
inclined.
dot.
Okay, we'll pass. East, that's out.
East wind.
We're looking we need a joker for the 2 bam. We need help with the 3 dot, but we're ready to Kong the 4.
White dragon.
And all these tiles here to the right of the
South
flower,
wind.
those are all safe discards. We have 6
1
picks and
bamboo.
4 discards, so we're still a contender for this game.
Kong. Four dots.
Oh, there's a joker for exchange
1
over
bamboo.
here. Oh, somebody got it. Oh, well. Oh, and they got a win. Well, that was kind of good timing, though, because we're 1 minute to the top of the hour. All right, we have 7, 8, 9 concealed. That is a fun hand to play. Nice win. Over here, we have a ready player. Ready player. Let's see. No, they're not ready. They're 1 away. Looks like they might have been trying for the dragon hand. No. They're playing for Kongs. They had a flower to get rid of. They were playing 5, 6, 7 Kong. All Kongs. And then here, like numbers with 1s and 6 flowers. That was going to be hard to complete. And then, of course, here, we needed a joker for the 2 bam, and then we needed to build up our 3. We still needed a flower. So we had a ways to go. All right, that's going to do it for this live stream. Thank you, moderators, for being here to help moderate chat. I appreciate it, especially at the nitty-gritty part when we first started this event. If you missed the first part, the first hour, we went over top 10 complex rules. So watch the repost. If you have any questions, write them in the comment section below the video, or you could post on the Facebook group and we'll carry the conversation there. You could also send me an email directly. You can find my email in the video description below. Incidentally, if you haven't tried playing at Mahjong Time yet, look for my email there. Send me an email. I can send you information on their VIP trial. Or, of course, you could just go to my website, click on About, and then you'll see a Mahjong Time link in there in the menu. Just click on that and you can see where you can take advantage of the 30-day VIP trial at Mahjong Time. There are 5 ways to play here. Soon there'll be 6, so it is a great place to play Mahjong. Play and learn. Wednesday night, oh yeah, the next live stream is Wednesday night, Nitty-Gritty Let's Play live stream for Wright-Patterson Mahjong. We're practicing to gear up for when they release the version in this platform. So we're going to be practicing. We're going to go over something nitty-gritty, and we're going, I think this, I know what we're going to do. I already have it ready. We're going to do flush and half flush. 1 suit and 1 suit with honors. In Asian versions, it's called a flush and a half flush, kind of like poker. So join us on Wednesday night if you're interested in learning Wright-Patterson Mahjong. It's a lot of fun to play. All right. And if you're watching the repost, thank you so much for watching my videos. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Click the little gray bell if you do. That way you'll get notification for when I post new videos, and you won't miss an opportunity to learn a new strategy or pick up an insight to the game that could give you an advantage at the table. Between now and the next video, may all your picks